Welcome back, guys, to the Heart Helper podcast. We are on episode 18. I'm your host, Jody Smith, and today we have a friend, a brother, a former bandmate, Dio, as you guys might know him as, but I call him Archie Morgan II. Thank you for being on the Heart Helper podcast.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
I am blessed to have you here.
I'm blessed to be here.
I'm so excited. So I met Archie in Tallahassee. For those of you guys that don't know, I was in a band with 4 other amazing musicians. Like we just met, we connected, we created music. And even on the days where we weren't creating music, we literally just vibed. We just loved up on each other. We were extremely poor, had no money for food. I would call restaurants and act like a lady named Angela Brown.
You still remember the name?
I remember the name, because my friend had gave me the name. She was like, oh, just say your name's Angela Brown. And I would pretend I was Angela Brown and say, hey, you guys forgot to give me my family meal. I got home. You guys gave me the wrong meal. I don't know what I'm going to do now. My kids are hungry. And we would go pick up food from different restaurants. God forgive me, but we were in dire need. Yeah.
Sorry, y'all.
And I would get us food and we just connected. We just vibed and we've just stayed connected ever since. So I'm thankful to have him here. He is such a talented producer, a talented artist. It's only right that we have UTMOS, the creator of UTMOS.
Thank you.
Here.
Along with Noir and Kennedy.
And Kennedy was on an episode as well. We got to get Noir on an episode.
Yeah. Oh, he was?
Kennedy was on an episode.
Yeah.
So Universal Thinking Minds of Sound. That's UTMOS. That's the band that we were in. And we've kind of just all been dibbling and dabbling into different things. So
just establishing our mastery in different areas.
We're creatives in different things now, but we're still a group. Okay.
Yes, always.
Don't get it twisted. We're still together always and forever. So glad to have you.
Thanks.
Blessed to have you. So let's get it started. So I know, just knowing you throughout the years, I know that you grew up a Muslim.
Yes.
And I thought it was your dad initially that was the Muslim, but it actually was your mother that was Muslim.
Yes. Mom's side of the family.
And your dad was Christian, right?
Yes.
So tell me about that. How was that upbringing?
So I was in a different church every Sunday. My uncle played drums in the church, so I'd be at the Christian church, Baptist. And on other weekends, I would go to big conferences with W.D. Muhammad and watch him. My grandfather was an imam in the mosque, so I was always around it. Every other Sunday.
Is that like a pastor?
Yep.
Okay, making sure. Okay.
That's the equivalent. Yep.
So, girl, you were always in church on Sundays.
Always. I say most of my young life. When I moved back to Wisconsin at 7 years old.
Yeah.
From then to like maybe 13, 14, every weekend.
In the church.
Yep. Even summer camps. Yeah.
Oh, I remember those church summer camps. Mm-hmm. You're going to that summer camp.
Yeah, but it wasn't Muslim summer camps though.
It was the Christian summer camp. So what do you think influenced like your faith? Was it more so the Muslim faith or was it the Christian faith? What did you resonate with more?
I think in the beginning, it was the strictness of the Muslim faith and praying 5 times a day. Mm-hmm. That was a heavy influence on my life. Like very strict, very structured. But I gravitated towards the Christian side because of the music and the feel and the gospel. You know what I mean?
It moved you more?
It was moving. It was very much more moving. But it was. I think that's built like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I almost feel like sometimes in Islam, like we kind of stray away from theatrics, I guess you could say. Yeah. But
it's like straight to the point, straight to the word. No worship really involved.
I wouldn't say that. I think that the feeling of worship is the same, but I think the emotion behind it might be different.
Yeah.
It's just a more serious tone.
I joined the Nation of Islam, like I was telling you on our way here, when I was in Tampa. I moved to Tampa in my adult age, and there was just something about the Nation of Islam. It was like Black Power, standing together. I loved how the men would walk me to the bathroom and wait outside. There was such a reverence for women and children and the respect. Right. And I really, really, I was like, oh my God, this is great. But I think as I got more into it, I'm like, ooh, I don't know if this is for my particular spiritual journey. Yeah. But I'm glad I experienced it though.
It's for some and not for some.
Yeah.
So I got a chance to experience being like kind of like raised in both. So I knew I didn't want the strictness of one. I knew I didn't want the too free of the other.
Freeness of the other, yeah. I need a balance of both.
I need a balance. But what it did was it kind of brought me to one God. You know, like knowing that if a lot of people that read the Bible and read the Quran are like, okay, well, the Quran is a remix with a few other things.
Little twists. It's a little bit more poetic.
So, that kind of just got me to, okay, well, if everybody going to be out here remixing everything, let me just get to the one. You know what I mean? And that was my journey from then on. It was kind of like, all right, I'm going to take certain stuff from here, certain stuff from here. And it really got me to exploring kind of like different religions in general.
Yeah.
I mean, just being exposed so hard to both so early. Because if you just exposed to one or the other, you might, this person going to hell. It's like,
it separates.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
I love that you mentioned that there's one God, because I do believe that as well. And I do think there's so many different paths to God.
Right.
And that's why people created religion, to help people, direct people towards that one God.
I feel like the intent was good.
The intent was pure. I don't know where it is now.
The intent was good.
The intent was initially pure, I do believe. But I feel like when it becomes, when it separates people, that's when it's like, okay. Because I feel like we're all one.
I don't want to villainize someone else that's trying to be righteous.
That's it. Like, if you're trying, whether you're a Buddhist, whether you're Muslim, whatever you are, Christian, I don't want to. I don't know your journey. I don't know your life. If you're trying to become better, or trying to reach the highest version of yourself, trying to know God, I respect anyone that's doing that.
Facts.
I respect anyone that's doing
way.
that. So, what did you learn then in your faith that you carry with now? Like, I love how Muslims pray 5 times a day. There's certain things from each religion that I'm like, oh, I love that.
I'm not gonna pray. I don't pray 5 times a day right now.
Really? Okay.
But I pray 5 times a day.
Yeah, but you don't designate the time.
Yeah, I don't pray 5 times a day, but I pray 5 times a day.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel you on that. Yeah. I do too. I don't like, hey guys, let me log out of work and go pray. But I'm in a constant state of prayer. I feel like my life is in a constant state of prayer.
You know what you need, and you know who you need. For what you need.
Yeah. Along the way.
That,
So what did you? So you did take a form of that with you in your life today. So you did.
Because I'm still thinking right now, I'm still thinking about Ramadan right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, every time it comes around, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
So that's that stuck with me. Just being aware of it. You know what I mean? I think that eventually I will choose a faith to follow, because I feel like structure is important when it comes to spirituality. Yeah. But right now I'm just, it's me and big man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so you don't favor one religion over the next. Yeah. As long as you're
I feel like once you start doing that, like, for me, just personally, I've always been conflicted about that, I've been conflicted about Jesus for a long time. So, I feel like, you know what? If I could just try to live a little bit more like him, I'm straight regardless of what the religion is.
As long as you're on the right, like, I always think if you are just a being of light and you are trying to be a good person, and like we were talking about earlier, it's like, I do feel like I'm in this season of separation just so I could hear God more.
Right.
And now I realize the whole time, God's been speaking to me the whole time, but I didn't know the word. So now that I read the word more, like even yesterday I was reading and I just started crying reading the word, because I'm like, God been speaking to me this whole time, but I honestly could say I never really picked up the Bible and got to know God for myself until now. So when I started reading, I was like, oh my God.
I'm on my way. I got to be on my way.
Man, I'm so baffled. I literally am baffled about like God's greatness. Like, I'm just baffled. But like every time I just open the Bible, I'm like, I don't know what he want me to read today. But when I open it, I'm like,
you're going to find something.
It was just what I needed.
And I think you're going to steer me into that kind of direction. Just read the word more, That's, even if it's just a verse a day, it really, if you really want to hear God speak, you really have to seek him. He's talking to you. Yeah. It's the reason why I would just go and download a Bible app and a Quran app, to have it on my phone just randomly. It's because we know we got to get closer.
We know. And it's like, I feel like we're hungry. All of us are hungry, but some of us are just eating the wrong food. That's why we're not getting full. And now that I see myself getting full, I was like, ooh, I was hungry for a spiritual type of food, And I've been eating things that were of substance. So now I'm just like, God.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You'll feel yourself getting into a rut where it's like, yo, I really need to get closer to God. You'll feel yourself. You'll know. You'll feel guilty about it.
Yeah. And they say when you draw close to God, God will draw close to you. And I'm just like, God, please don't ever let me lose this feeling. Like, I just want to have tunnel vision on where I'm going. I want to have tunnel vision on God. Nothing else matters,
I think that the isolation matters.
Yeah.
I was watching Streets episode, and
shout out to Streets.
That put me, that put me on to the isolation thing, because it makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing. I feel like now is the first time in life where I've really been isolated and chose to be isolated. You know what I mean? Like, I really.
What made you want to like start this season of isolation?
I think I gave a lot. I gave a lot of light where there was a whole bunch of darkness around. Darkness could just eat light.
Yeah, darkness I feel like is attracted to light.
Right. So whether it's relationships, whether it's musically, relationships, all of that, like, I just give so much, and I never gave that type of energy to myself or to God. I never did.
You spent so much time pouring into other people, and no one else.
And that's a superpower. It's a great thing to be able to do, and to be able to help people achieve their dreams. But at some point, like what they always say, pour into your cup, so when it's overflowing, everybody else's cup around you can get filled. And
that's the season. Yeah. Because I'm in that same season that you're in. I'm like, I give. And it's like I put other people over myself.
You've been doing that since I met you. So,
and listen, she's tired, okay? She is done. Let's be clear. I am spending so much. Listen, we tired together. I'm spending so much time pouring into myself. Yeah. If you get any extra from what's overflowing from my cup, absolutely. But the same way you love people, you have to love yourself.
Yes. That is a concept that we don't really grasp. Well, I'm gonna tell you, I ain't really grasp it.
Yeah, it takes. I mean, we think that we're doing the right thing, overexerting ourselves.
Yeah, it's a blessing though to be able to give. So.
It is, but it's also a blessing to be able to give to yourself.
It's balance.
Yeah, gotta have balance. In this particular season, what are you learning about yourself in isolation? Because I feel like in isolation, I'm learning so much. It makes me emotional thinking about it. I'm like, oh my God, just thinking even back to the things that I used to do or how I used to do. I gave away so many clothes the other day just because like, oh, I'm not wearing that no more. Like, that's just not who I am anymore.
Like growing up?
Yeah. I'm like, just revealing. I'm like, oh girl, go ahead and donate these clothes.
You're a mama now.
I'm a mom now, okay? I'm trying to be a virtuous woman. So certain things that I used to
You've always been a virtuous woman though.
I feel like I always have been, like, but I'm so tunneled. Like,
there's a shell, and then there's, we got who we really be.
I feel like I always have been virtuous. That's like my foundation, but now I want to operate.
That's why people rock with you.
Thank you.
Like,
I just want to make sure I am depicting that in every area of my life. Yeah. So what are you learning about yourself in this season of isolation? Such a great season.
I'm learning what I like finally.
Okay. And what is that? What does Archie Morgan II like?
I love music. I would do it if I made money or not. I'm gonna wake up each day or every other day and do create something. What I'm learning now about myself is that I really have put on other masks to help other people feel comfortable about themselves. When I'm really be rocking, like I'm like, a lot of Himothy going on over here.
Yeah.
And I really water myself down sometimes. Like, and being in isolation is like, yo, wait a minute. I'm hearing myself. I'm listening to myself. I'm listening to, you know what I'm saying? Like I can just feel it in the air. Like, it's just a different type of aura. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I
feel like you're vibing with yourself now more.
Yo,
you are rocking with,
it's something
and
different.
You're glowing.
It's
I feel like you
different.
are really rocking with yourself. Even seeing you post like your beats every day, I'm like, oh, he really tapping in, and I love that for you.
I had to go through so much shit.
I love that for you.
And still going through it, but I'm appreciating that journey. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm getting to myself with it. Whenever I do have that time and that energy, I'm giving it to myself. And you know what I mean? Like, of course we got to do our thing to survive, but
giving it back to. I love that you said that you watered yourself down, because sometimes I feel like we all do that. It's like you're an ocean, but you watering yourself down for rivers and lakes. Yeah. Why?
Yep.
Why?
People, they want, when you good, they want to latch on and.
Yeah. But you can't. I feel like I'm learning that as well. Like, don't water yourself down. You're a great artist. You're a great person. You're talented. And the people that are meant to be in your life will honor that. And they will push you to be the higher version of yourself. They'll inspire you. They won't want you to water yourself down. You're an ocean.
Are you tired of hearing people say that? Like stop watering yourself down. Like, you're her or you're him. Like,
And I think with me, it's a level of humbleness. Like, I don't ever want to be humble, not be humble, you know? Like, I try to always be humble.
What's with that word, though?
I like to be humble. You know, they say in the Bible, the humble and the meek shall inherit the earth. So I want to be confident in my gift, but I don't want to be like, oh, I'm her. I know I'm her. Right. I acknowledge who I am in my essence, but I'm not going to brag on it, you know?
Right.
So I think there's a balance.
I always felt uncomfortable about bragging on it. You know what I mean? Like,
but you can say you're good and it's just truth.
It's like if Jordan out there balling and he can hit a turnaround jumper on you every time, am I going to talk running down the court too?
Yeah.
Like, nah, I know I got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm straight.
And my work will speak for itself.
Yeah, there's some people that they say, they're silent killers. You know what I'm saying? On the court, I ain't going to talk mess back to you. Yeah. You're going to get this work. You're going to get this work.
So I think that's what it is. Just let people see the work. That's it.
I've always been on that. You're going to get this work. But people always tell me, because I get down on myself about it if I'm not, like, I don't know, I guess I crave that too, like, when people tell you when people tell you that when people tell you like, yo, you good, like that shit kind of means something too. In a sense, it's like, all right, well, I know that the work that I'm doing, somebody actually could see that shit. You know, I
think it was TD Jakes that says, he was like, you know, in Proverbs 4:23, I feel like that's like the only verse I know by heart. I'm working on memorizing, but Proverbs 4:23 is like, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it, right? So TD Jakes was talking about one time, like, don't let praise get to your heart, neither do let the disappointments get to your heart, because both of which are fleeting, you know? So it's like, they're both going to be fleeting. You're not always going to get praise, and you're not always going to get condemned, you know? So don't let anything get to your heart.
Don't get too high, don't get too low type.
Yeah. Just flow. That's it.
I'm with you.
Yeah. And you're very talented.
Thank you.
So let us give you your praise and your flowers today. Very, very, very talented. And you mentioned that you would do music even if you didn't get paid for it.
Yeah. I started doing it when I was like 11, 12. Yeah. It was poetry first, then it was beats.
So you used to write poetry?
Oh, yeah.
You've been holding secrets. You never told me that.
Well, I mean, that's how most rappers start rapping, you know?
Maybe I'm a rapper.
We got a pen, and then we just decided to put on some music.
Okay. I might need to start rapping because, you know, I love poetry.
It was the more acceptable thing to do, you know, instead of just being up there. Sometimes slam poetry, you know, it's like type shit. But putting it on wax.
I would love to hear some of your poetry.
All right.
We'll have to do another episode on that because I love, y'all know
I'm not
poetry.
prepared.
Yeah. When you're prepared.
There are some really dope people out there that do it. Like, I follow some really dope people.
I love poetry. So what inspires you when it does come to making music? Because I feel like even the tracks that you sent me earlier that I was listening to, there's just such a vibe and there's such an essence in his music. And I'll be sure to, of course, put some of his music.
I'm an emotional guy, so I think that's where it starts.
What sign are you again?
I'm a Capricorn.
Okay. Oh.
January Capricorn.
Capricorns. Yeah. Okay.
So,
my son's a Capricorn.
When's his birthday?
January 17th.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. He's a Capricorn.
Okay. Nice.
Okay.
I like that.
So are you guys emotional?
Very.
For future
I am.
reference? Okay.
I am. I can't speak for everybody else. I'm emotional. I'm an emotional guy.
So it's the emotions that really inspires the music.
That's where it came from. The not being seen and not being heard, all of that. Yeah. That's where me being creative, I needed an outlet. You know what I'm saying? For the things that I was going through at the time. And
that's where it came from. So you started at 11.
9. All right. So I was performing other people's pieces as young as 7, 8 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Performing like Langston Hughes and things like that. Yeah. On stage is that young. But then it turned to, you know, as you get older, middle school, I was trying to be more accepted.
Yeah.
And that's when it's like, okay, I'm making beats now. Okay. I'm in a rap group now. So the poetry became rap. And then, you know, from there.
Kind of. So you didn't grow up in like a musical household. That was just your outlet.
Not at all. And that's kind of like a thing for me because my mom put all my brothers, I'm the oldest. She put all my other brothers in music, violin and stuff. But me, I was the athlete.
Really?
Yeah,
and
but I was the musician.
What you
loved. I'm really the musician.
Were your parents, because I feel like most people that do music or some type of creative, like your family is always like, why are you doing that? Like, especially foreign parents. If you're not a doctor or a lawyer, you are scum, okay? They're like, oh, she's not a doctor, she's not a lawyer. Yeah. But being a creative, it's like, why do you want to do that? You're not going to make any money.
It was always like that.
Yeah. So you did experience that.
Oh, yeah. Heavy.
Yeah. Did that kind of discourage you a little bit from doing it?
I think that even sometimes it might affect me to this day. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, it's almost like if I don't make it in this shit, You know what I mean? Like, I gotta be able to go back and tell them I made it.
Yeah,
because I left
you've been
home.
pursuing it so long. Yeah.
Like it's almost like don't even go home until you got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And you're gonna get it.
I already know.
I have seen you you have stayed so consistent with producing music, with creating music, with creating. Okay. You have stayed you are the most consistent person. I feel like you've always been creating.
I'll say I'm consistent and I'm gonna wake up every day and think about doing it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to showing the world,
you don't do that. Now
you
don't do. We're gonna work on that. Though.
Yeah, we're gonna work on that.
I know you need to do an intro or something for the pod.
I got you.
That you might not do, but I know that you have been creating for a significant amount of time.
It's never gonna stop.
So it's still in your heart.
Oh yeah.
It's still
every
in your
day.
Heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you working on now?
I got new flow.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I've been sending tracks out to friends. I just got new flow right now.
Okay.
I feel like my style now is a culmination of everything that I've learned from even when we was rocking.
Yeah.
From when I was younger. Just, I feel like everything is coming together. I'm so comfortable in myself right now. Like,
that's a beautiful place to be.
Yeah. And
place to
it's
be.
been quite some time. And I'm just feeling real good
about it. So are you gonna drop anything soon? Or
I've
a EP together.
So yes, yes, and yes.
Okay.
Want to do something for the podcast, of course.
Absolutely.
But I came out with a song called Galentine on the 13th of February, so y'all can check that out.
And I listened to your push pedal today.
Yeah. So yes, push the pedal.
Push the pedal.
I am gonna drop that song.
Which was a great song.
It's a life story compressed.
Yeah.
So anybody who's felt like they're going through grief or loss and they want to get on the road to just drive on a nice night, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just kind of let things go.
Ease your mind.
It's a beautiful song for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely, and speaking of grief, because I know you lost your father, Archie Morgan the first.
Yes.
I met your dad.
You did.
Very attractive man.
You did.
Very attractive man. Yeah. I have not lost a parent yet, and I've had friends experience it. I know how significant it is. And right now, my father actually has cancer. And he's going through prostate cancer. So it's just like, of course, when your loved one tells you that, there's like a piece of me that's like, oh my God, what if my dad passes away? Or am I spending enough time with him? And like, now I'm trying to go to Jamaica more. Yeah. And there's been times where we've stopped talking. Like one year he forgot my birthday and I was pissed.
Yeah.
How do you forget my birthday? You had me. And I didn't talk to him for a year. And when we finally did talk and I told him how I felt and why I didn't talk, he's like, Jody, I'm literally getting old. Like my mind is not what it used to be. And now we make the conscious effort to call each other more, text each other more. Now he's sending me stuff on TikTok. But, when your loved one,
yeah.
And when they tell you that they have cancer, it's like, oh my God, are you going to die?
It's a sinking feeling.
Oh my, it's scary. And it's like, I've never lost a parent. So that's why I wanted to talk to you about grief and how you got through it. Because everyone's going to experience it.
Are you going to be okay? Because I feel you getting...
Oh, no, I am. But it's life.
Yeah.
And I try to just always tell myself, energy never dies. I'm a firm believer in that. This is just a moment.
I am too.
This is just a moment. We get to be humans, but in another realm, who knows? You might be a rock star in the spiritual realm, helping people be artists, or who knows what we'll be doing. But this is just a moment of that. So I've come to terms with that as far as like death and people passing away. It's just a moment. That's it. So how did you, with the loss of your father, how did you get through it? I
went up there with him for the last 2 weeks that he was living or whatever.
Was he sick?
Yeah, he had colon cancer.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of like just a slow, he already knew what was going on and he fought, but they felt like it was going to be terminal for quite some time. So after my stepmom told me what was up and it was just 1 week where I was calling, he just kept getting worse. And it was like, okay, he's, 1 week it'd get better, then it'd get worse. It's like, all right. It was like a 2 or 3 weeks then, it was just worse and worse. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just go up there. I quit my job to go up there and be with my dad because it was so much time that we hadn't spent together in life.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like, I just needed that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You needed that moment.
I needed that whole 2 weeks. Like, like everything from just being in the basement up there. He has a younger son. My little brother is 13, about to turn 14 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
And you're the oldest on both.
I'm
your
the
mom
oldest.
And your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just I wanted to be with him, and even now, like I feel like I want to be there for him you know, that's gonna be my way of handling the grief of dad's losses, to kind of like, you know, help be what he can't be there for my little brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Type shit.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to be there with him. And the grieving process, I still don't think I really grieved all the way. But I do have stints where it's like I just get low and I feel like I want to talk to him. But then it's also, I can also still call my little brother's phone and hear his voice on the voicemail. It's little stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? When I go to my stepmom's house, she moved down here to be around us. Like,
really?
Yeah, because she was dealing with it hard, you know what I'm saying? So we just all leaning on each other, you know what I'm saying?
All
Like,
you could do.
we just leaning on each other, and we all was there, even in the last moments, you know what I'm saying? Like, he wanted us all there, and it just reminded me of like, this is what it's about, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end, like, even he going through cancer and stuff, he was like, I don't want to be in the hospital, I want to die in the hospital.
I want to be at home.
I want to be at the crib. We was all holding hands with him while he actually took his last breath. All of his you know what I'm saying? All his kids was there. You know, his granddaughter was there. Like, we was there. Like, for me, if I'm gonna go out, I feel like he went out the best. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just glad that I was able to be there in that time, because I'm always scrambling and feel like I'm working too hard. or trying to be efficient at work, or trying to, you know, get to the bag. Lost in the sauce, yo. Like,
none of that matters.
It don't.
None of that matters.
No, he spent 54 years of his life for that last moment.
Wow. It sounds like he was surrounded by love.
Yes.
In those last moments.
Yes.
What is one thing that your dad taught you that you carry with you today?
He was just strong, persistent. You know what I mean? Like, he was always there, even when he wasn't there. He was there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he made shit happen. Like, it just was, we never really needed, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he was always going to find a way.
He was going to find a way. You know what I'm saying? Like, him and my mom didn't have the relationship that I would have wanted them to have, but at the same time,
I don't think any child does. Co-parenting is not easy, but
but when you get older and you realize what it is, like, he held it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did
his
best.
Big up. Big respect. You know what I'm saying? Me and my brother want to be more like him, minus the smoking cigarettes. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I'm not judging those. I used to smoke my Newports now.
I used to smoke them right with you.
Yeah, exactly. But, listen, we used to have a good time with them Newports. So that's one thing that you will carry with you. Just
definitely.
I feel like you do that. You always get stuff done, despite your circumstances. When you go through things, you always you're gonna find a way.
There's an optimism that I've been blessed with, you know.
You have that for sure.
Yeah, no matter how bad stuff get, I'm still gonna be like, yo, on a macro level, we good. We'll be all right.
Every time.
But I think that's really just God too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that, it's a mindset. It's a mindset for real.
I like that you said that. It's a mindset. Yeah. Being like optimistic, being positive, it's a mindset. And it takes work. It's everyday work.
Yeah.
Your body is not going to heal on Monday just because you ate watermelon on Sunday or, you drank some chlorophyll water. You got to do it every single day. And you have to, it's work changing your perspective. I'm trying to do it myself every day. It's work.
It's work.
It's work.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone that might be listening that might have lost a parent? What advice could you give to them or is there even any advice? I don't know. I haven't lost a parent yet. Like what did you do that helped you?
I leaned on my uncle. My uncle,
your dad's brother?
My dad's brother. Okay. He lost both of his parents. He lost his. So, damn, I didn't even think about that.
Your dad lost both of his parents.
So my dad, shortly before he passed, him and my uncle, we lost grandma. I think it was a year and a half before. So he was holding on to that. So I had to lean on that. You know what I'm saying? Like we just leaned on each other because we can see each, you know what I'm saying? We could see them. I could see grandma and my uncle. You know what I'm saying? Like they do the same stuff. Like he stayed with her till, you know what I'm saying? Like till she really was about to pass type. You know what I'm saying? Like just was always around. Like they was close. Like close. I feel like they was closer. He was the youngest, so he closer. So I leaned on him because he went through it with his father at 13 years old. So him and my youngest brother, they can relate on that.
Wow, because they both lost their parents at 13 years old.
But he can help me relate because he had lost his mom the year prior. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we was all just, that's the only way I can explain it. Is like, yo, lean on your other loved ones that was close. And
because they're experiencing the same grief.
They're experiencing the same thing, but just also like, just know that the person that you lost, like they're in the people that are you know what I'm saying, around you.
Yeah.
Like if you want a piece of them, you have to reach out to your other loved ones. Yeah.
And tap into it.
Tap into the traditions, tap into all of that so you can feel them.
Yeah.
And that's going to help you get through.
Because grief is just it's like you don't know what to say, you don't know what to do. You want to call, but then you don't want to trigger them to cry. Like grief is just something that's unexplainable.
Yeah.
And I know in Ecclesiastes it says like, you know, there's a day to be born and there's a day to die, and we should rejoice when people pass away, and we should mourn when babies cry. I mean, when babies are born. I'm sorry. So when people pass, we should rejoice, but when babies are born, we should cry because they're coming into so much sin and there's so much going on in the world these days. So that's why they say you should rejoice when people pass and celebrate life, you know, instead of mourning it.
Right.
So you would think it would be vice versa, but you know, they've gone on to be present with
and that should be a celebration.
Yeah, it should be a celebration.
Right.
So when people do pass, I try to think like that. Like literally in the Bible it says rejoice.
That's another good way to think. For real.
Yeah. I think that's what keeps me, and I really do believe that energy never dies. I really believe
NERD.
NERD.
Come on now.
You know, I just literally, that's why I feel like I love NERD stuff.
No one ever really dies.
No one ever really dies.
And yeah, I can lean on that too.
Yeah, I feel like you go
all these little mantras, you know, that we learned earlier. You can apply them, like to
today. Yeah, I really do believe no one ever really dies.
And that also helps with the grief. It's like if you understand energy, then you understand that when this little bee's flying around, it's in my face constantly. Hey, what's up, Pop?
Yeah, I'm one of those people. If I see a bird flying close, I'm like, that's probably my cousin Javon.
Yep.
Or that's probably my grandma.
Get out my face. But really it's not. It's like,
or when I wake up and I hear birds chirping, I'm like, look at my loved ones waking me up this morning.
And my aunt actually made this piece for my dad before he passed.
Really?
So we're real big.
So was that your dad's?
This was my dad's.
Wow.
So I wore it on purpose. So it's I wore it on purpose. It's really
let me find out. Archie Morgan the first is here in spirit.
In spirit, definitely.
In spirit, absolutely.
Yeah, my auntie Melanie made this for him, and whenever I want to keep him on me, I put it on. So
I love that.
I used to wear his Michael Kors watch that he gave me too, but I had to put that away because it started getting scratched up too much. It's,
like you wanted to preserve it. Wow, I love that. Yeah, and I did have the pleasure of meeting him that one time, and I feel like he had such a aura about him that just demanded respect.
Yep.
It gave very much so boss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's just the structure. When the people at his funeral was always talking about how much of a light he brought to everybody and how hard of a worker he was. Like, so I feel like our lives are very similar with that. Even with my brothers, like we come in people's lives, make a big impact, but then we gotta go. It's like, hey, boom, peace. And it's not nothing bad. It's just,
sometimes that's what it is, though. Yeah. I know with me, I feel like I overstay. I keep reading the same chapters when it's time to write new ones. And
what you mean by that?
So I feel like I keep people in my life when that chapter's already been closed. It's
true.
Like I should be writing new stories.
In what capacity? Like
remember, like I was telling you earlier today, just like how I prayed and God has just been removing certain people from my life, but there's still a part of me like that will keep them there. Like if they need something, but it's like, you just got to dead it, like if God is allowing you to see certain things about people, and it's okay to be okay letting people go. I'm
guilty of the same thing. I want to keep people around as long as possible.
It's no love lost. It's not that you don't like the person, but where God's taken me, your purpose has already been served.
Right.
And what was I watching the other? I always watch like sermons online, and the pastor was describing us as being on an elevator going up, right? So God wants to take us to level 10, but we're so stuck on level 3 because we're keeping people on the elevator where the elevator doors are opening, but we're keeping them on, and we can't go up higher because we're trying to keep them on the elevator.
Weight capacity.
The elevator door has to open for people to get off and for people to come on. So don't die at a level 3 when God wanted to take you to a level 10. It's like God gifted you with purpose, gifted you with talent, gifted you with a mission, but you're not even trying to get to the level 10 because you keep hanging out with people that are on the level 3.
You're right. You care about them, and they might be self-sabotaging all. You want to save people.
Yeah. It's time, for me anyway, I feel like it's time to write new chapters.
It is.
And stop rereading the old ones.
If you know and you're aware, you got to tackle that. And I'm on the same type of time.
Yeah. I feel like I've been talking to so many people on the same journey. I feel like you're in the same space.
I've never felt so free. And Yeah, just a weight lifted off my shoulders.
Yeah, peace in your
Everything
mind.
ain't gonna be perfect, and
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I'm good.
But it's the faith. It's
Yes.
always the faith. Even whatever happens, I have so much faith in God that it's building my character.
Mm-hmm.
It's properly aligning me. And anyone that God's removing, I pray for the grace to accept it. I pray for the grace to accept it.
I love that.
That's the journey, man. Just trying
the
to reach our higher self. So let's talk about love.
Let's talk.
So-
Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
What is your definition of love?
All right, so I'm trying something new.
Okay, what's that?
I'm trying to be the love that I want.
That's the best. That's like a great place. To
Yeah, but for me, it's new and different. You
Okay.
know,
I feel like since I've known you, you've always been in a relationship. You have.
You know what? Get off my case. Get off my case. Get off my case.
From talent, I feel like you've always had.
I'm a lover.
You're a lover.
I'm a lover.
You are
Yeah.
a lover.
And I don't like to be outside.
Yeah. So you like to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to be inside. Yeah. My dad went from marriage to marriage to marriage.
Really?
Yeah. He had 2 7-year marriages. Then, you know.
So
the
he
last
was
one,
married 3 times.
Yeah. The last
My
one
mom
was.
says 3 times the charm.
I feel like the last one was gonna last.
I only want one.
Me and
God,
my
please.
stepmom. My stepmom is the shit diggity.
Really?
Yeah.
You like her?
Yeah, she cool.
Shout
She's
out
so
to
cool.
stepmom. Hopefully she watches.
Yeah, she dope.
So you're loving yourself, right? You're in a
Yes.
relationship with yourself now.
I'm in I wouldn't say that. Not like Maya, not in a relationship with myself, but I'm chilling. I'm loving
up
on
you-
myself.
Yes. Is this the first time that you've really
I
tapped
think
into-
so. I think so.
I think so too.
Where I would have paid for some nails to get done. Let me get my feet done today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let me take myself out for some Italian today.
Good for you.
Just often.
I think that's why you're glowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never seen you in this space before.
Well, I hide.
Yeah. I can say that. Yeah.
But I'm always, I'm not gonna shut myself off to it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm not out here with my eyes wide open
Seeking it.
anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think that's what I valued that a lot. I always thought that, okay, let me get with my person before anything happens for me bigger than I feel like myself. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Because once the things that I want happen for me and
You
I'm in
already
that
want to have
space,
someone.
I don't want to have to weed anyone out for ill intent at that point.
So you want to find someone before you got on.
I did.
Yeah.
I don't mind now. It's like,
Now
it
it's
is what
like-
it is.
I feel like discernment will let you know who's for you, who's
Right.
not for you. And once you really tap into that, that's why
I
I said
don't know. I thought I was doing good. We think
I
of
think we all
every
do.
time
Yeah.
time we get in a
You're the
relationship, we
one.
feel like our discernment is on point.
Yeah. Actually, I know with me, I don't think I've ever prayed over any relationship I've been in.
Oh.
So I chose people that I wanted. God ain't want those people for me.
That's a revelation.
God, yeah. And I
So-
can't even say I had discernment because I wasn't even listening to God then.
So maybe that's something I should do in the future. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, I want to be the love that I want, and then I should pray for the correct partner. Because
That's what I think.
I ain't gonna lie, when we outside, you look good, or
This is the one.
you treat
This is
really
the
for me is oh, you treat me so good.
Yeah.
I like who like me type. That's what love is. I like who like me.
Him. She like me. I think I know with me, I've never had discernment in a relationship,
No.
and I've never prayed like, oh God. Now I am, and now I feel like dating. Sir, did you talk to God before you came over here?
I like that.
Yeah, you got to talk to God
like
before you come over. Did God tell you to come talk to me?
Ooh.
Because I don't think God did.
So you're not meeting nobody
So
in
you
the
over
club,
here,
no
but did
bars,
God-
no
Yeah,
grocery store.
maybe the grocery store.
Maybe
it's at a leadership conference. Maybe it's at
you would hope. That's too
maybe-
perfect though.
Maybe it's at a bookstore, at Starbucks. I don't know.
If I meet somebody there that's like super, super wholesome, I might be scared.
Right. Hey, it might be
I
the
don't
one
know.
though. It might be the one.
You're right.
I'm trying to have more discernment because I feel like I've always had discernment in every other area, but when it came to like romantic relationships, I was
Not
a
really.
fool. Lord, this time I'm like, no. If it's not
Yo.
of God, I don't want it, and I'm not even seeking. I'm hoping that I'm trying to properly align with God so everything aligns.
I think that's
Rightly
what we
for me.
should do. I haven't been properly aligned, and I feel like maybe that's
Neither.
why I'm going through the things that I'm going through
Yeah.
for as long as I have. Because align with him.
Yeah, and I think everything will be divinely orchestrated.
Right.
Because I do think when God created us, he created someone like specifically for us. Like God knows what I need, God knows what you need, and God has created that perfect partner that is, I think that partner is going to bring us closer to God.
All right. Perfect partner?
Not perfect. The perfect partner for us.
Okay.
No one's perfect, but the perfect partner for us.
Like our puzzle fit.
Yeah, our puzzle fit, yeah. Okay. And someone that we're going to be equally yoked with.
I also believe in working, though. I also believe in the work, though. Yeah, like, like, I feel like a lot of us, and since we're talking about love, a lot of us have a lot of these flash phrases like, oh, need to come healed. I don't think we're nobody's ever going to be all the way healed.
That's true.
We're going to grow.
Because I've said that before. You got to, and the only reason I say that is because I have dated people that weren't healed, and because I am a light, I feel like I then become a therapist.
You know what work you're doing.
Yeah.
And if you can see that work happening to somebody else, and you know that y'all are both not healed, you know that work is possible.
Yeah.
That leads a certain type of faith. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they're, like you said, equally yoked.
Yeah.
They might be in the same spiritual light as you. You know what I'm saying? Like type like.
So we can.
I feel like people got to work with people too now.
Yeah. Now they're not going to be perfect.
Yeah. Like,
but I don't want no one carrying all their trauma and pouring it on me.
Right.
And
I've been on that side where I poured my trauma on a woman and.
It's not fair to that person.
I poured my trauma on a good woman. And lost a couple good ones because I wasn't ready. So
do you think
I
it's
do
any
know.
possibility for you to be able to spin the block when now that you're in a different space?
You know, I keep.
Or do you not believe in spinning the block?
I believe in spinning the block.
Okay.
I believe in spinning the block. I believe that people don't always come to each other in the right mind frame.
Yeah.
Circumstances be crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like people be going through stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that, down the line, people can, we had a good connection, but I was going, look, this whole thing, I'm sorry about this. Yeah, like,
right person, wrong time.
I was tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that.
I think so too. I think there has to be a certain level of healedness, if that's important.
I think that people only spin the block for real after like a good 10
years,
12.
I don't know if I want to spin the block.
I think that's when it's the best. I think I think you spin the block after a long time
because you've been out there, you kind of see what you had and you appreciate it. I don't think I want to spin the block on any of mine personally. Because I think God has someone brand new for me.
I think I'm cool.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
I think I'm cool.
God bless him.
God bless him. God bless him.
The door is closed.
My door ain't closed. My door ain't closed. It's cracked. It's cracked
a little bit.
It just cracked a little bit. And the only reason why I say that is because I've done a lot of growing, and I know what I've done. You know what I'm saying? I know, the types of things that I messed up. And I also know, that I'm not going to demonize anybody for the things that they've done. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day.
You forgive, and you got, I was reading was it 1 Corinthians where it says love is patient, love is kind? I was reading that today. And I'm like, ooh, did I really love in my full capacity? Because love forgives. Love doesn't remember any wrongdoing.
Love does forgive. And that's one thing that I'm preaching about. Like, even with a lot of my homegirls is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I preach forgiveness too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
love forgives.
Guys, girls, like, people are really going through stuff and have traumatic experiences, and they will it's like the transitive property in math. Like they'll put it on you unknowingly, and once they're aware, oh my God, yeah.
Wasn't even intentional. I think
they don't really want to treat you like that.
They don't. They don't. Some people just don't know any better because that's all they're used to.
But you can't get too much benefit of the doubt because that's my life story. I'm benefit of the doubt. Everybody,
because you got to be trying to become better. You have to be trying to become better.
Yeah.
And I think when I say people come healed, like we're going to be on a constant state of healing and becoming the best version of ourselves. But you have to have some form of self-awareness to where you can recognize where you need to heal, where you need to become. Because I think when I have dated unhealed people, they depended on me for their happiness.
Yes.
And that was too much of a heavy weight to carry.
It is for y'all.
It's
I've been that guy.
I don't want to be I want us both to be come happy.
Yep.
And we
at least that. If you can make yourself happy, you straight.
Come
straight
happy.
Up.
You might not be all the way healed, but come happy because it's too much weight on my shoulders for you to be depending on me for your
the happiness.
And then you feel guilty when you're not making this person happy. I know I was in a relationship and he just wanted to stay together so much so because I made him happy, and he was okay with me being unhappy in the relationship just because I made him happy.
And you and Yeah.
Like one day I just woke up and I was like, oh,
I'm straight. I don't want this no more.
I literally woke up and was like, hey, this is not going to work for me. Because I'm making you happy, but I'm miserable.
Yeah.
And it's not fair. That's why I say you have to come happy because it's too much weight on one person's shoulder.
That's facts.
Yeah. It's a no. So going forward, how do you want to be loved? Like in your next relationship, what does love look like to you? How will you be loved?
I'm going to be loved how I love. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to be loyal. I'm going to be nurturing. I'm going to be a provider. Well, she don't got to provide. She can kind of meet me halfway.
So you believe in providing?
I believe in me doing more than 50%.
Okay. Because that's a hot topic these days. They're like,
it's cool.
50-50.
But that also comes with the respect of, baby, I am the man of the house. So, I got so much respect. And I grew up, my mom, she was mostly a single mother. So, I looked at the guys that she kind of dated, and I looked at the guy that she decided to stay with. And
what type of character traits did he have?
Yeah, so upstanding, he really, I don't want to say this, but he really
he was a good guy.
He's a very nice guy.
Okay.
And I got burnt being a nice guy. I want to be a good guy, not a nice guy. Because nice guy got me walked over. You know what I'm saying? Like type. So I don't really want to I don't want to be like overly.
You just want to have good character.
I want to have good character. Just,
I think there's nothing wrong with being the nice guy. Find you a nice girl. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
I feel like I'm the nice person all the time, but I just need to find a nice guy. Because
nice is
subjective in a sense.
We know what nice is. Nice is nice is green. Green.
Have I been? You feel like you've been green?
I've been very green.
Really?
Yeah. Meaning like ignorance is bliss for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going through no phones. None of that.
No, if I have to do that, I don't want to be in a relationship.
I just want to know that we good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And trust that. And
I'm not going through no phones. If I feel like I have to go through your phone, I don't feel like you're the one for me.
Right.
Because the person that I marry is going to make me feel so secure that I'm not going to.
I may have gone through a phone one time.
Oh, I have now. I have. But I'm not doing that no more.
But no,
I'm healed from that.
I learned from that. Like, you're not going to.
No. And if I don't want to.
And I'm not going to act like that either. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't want to give someone a reason to go through my phone either.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
You shouldn't even give me a reason to go through your phone. Yeah. We're in our, I don't even want to say late 30s. I can't believe we're.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, at this
but
age.
check, I have no grays.
Listen, I've been seeing a few pop up. We're wise. We're wise. Yeah. And at this age, if you have to do all that, is the person really for you? Probably not.
And are you really being accountable and taking care of yourself the right way? Because do you really want all of that extra in your life? Like
no. And that's where that discernment comes in. Like
peace.
We pray for everything else, but we don't usually pray for the proper partner. Because love
I never did.
Yeah. I never did either.
Pray for the proper
partner, yeah.
Or just pray to be the partner.
Yeah.
To be the proper
And that's
partner.
why I say this season's like it's about me becoming. Because you're going to automatically attract the right partner when you're.
Jody, I think you're on the right track.
We're flowing. We're flowing. Thank you. We're flowing.
Yeah.
So it's coming for you.
I'm with it. And I'm ready. And I'm ready and not ready.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah, I need to be by myself for a while.
So you haven't been dating at all? So for the women that are watching this, what if they slide in your DMs?
I'm flirting.
Okay.
That's all I'm doing right now. I'm flirting.
Okay, he's a nice guy.
I'm not a nice guy. I'm a good guy.
Oh, he's a good guy. Sorry,
I'm a good guy.
Talking about that. He's a good guy. Yeah. He has a good heart.
I ain't taking no BS though.
Yeah.
And I know what these Atlanta streets bring.
I don't.
It's treacherous.
Is it?
It is.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you say that? Is it because there's so many women? I thought it was good for men here because I thought.
It's but.
There's a but.
There's a lot of game playing going on out here. Even with the ladies, like we play games. Of course, we've been playing games as long as history goes. But y'all done learned the game, too. And it's bad out here. A lot of these ladies are living like these songs they talking about. Mm-hmm.
What song? Give me an example.
You want an example for real?
Yeah. For the people that are just listening and not what song? All
right, when I say it's like some outside stuff, I feel like we in the belly of the beast. So I heard this song on IG the other day, and what they said, let him hear raw. He cheating and I'm knowing. Call the baby heaven because that's where it's going. Oh my God, I like to die.
This is the Devil's Playground.
We out here. And my homegirls talking about guys that they've been kicking it with, and it's just bad news. It's bad news.
I just don't think it's even worth dating right now. To me, that's what I say. If someone approaches me, did God tell you to come over here?
I want to have faith in it. So I just don't want to be like that. I still want to have some faith.
But that's where I think this season's for tunnel vision. We're just being so focused on God that the right person's gonna just.
I think that's.
Yeah, because if you focus on dating, a lot of times you get destruction.
Because I mean, what's the real purpose of it all anyway? You know what I'm saying? Like, what, procreation and having a great relationship to help build community? Like, I think it's really
supposed to be a helpmate.
The nitty gritty, like
you're supposed to have a helpmate that is going to where you're equally yoked. You know, you guys might be on the same level, but we're equally yoked. We're at the neck and we're walking towards the same destination of light. You can't have one person that's kind of still in the darkness. You're on the light, because now I'm dragging you to become, and I don't want to do that. I'm tired of dragging.
All right. You tired of dragging, but we all need to pull people up sometime. That's why we all like. Yeah,
but you get tired of always. But the person has to be willing to become, though.
Right. You can see that. You can see it in them. Yeah. If they're in the darkness and they trying to become, then I can rock with you. I can rock with you.
Yeah, I can rock with you if you're trying to become. But the people where you're having to like pull them,
but there may become a time.
And screaming
now, if you married, there may come marriage is sickness and health. So if they sick in that area, how long are you gonna let them be sick? It's sickness and health.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But if they're bringing you down, what do?
You bring them up. Vice versa.
That's tough.
It is.
That's tough.
It's very tough. But who said it's supposed to be easy?
Yeah, this is true.
When you had kids, it's tough.
Don't even get me started. You ain't even go. It's very tough.
Hey.
It's very tough. And how long do you give
baby boy in the darkness? I mean, it don't matter. You gonna be in with them if you're in the darkness forever.
Yeah. Now I ain't trying to stay in the darkness forever.
I mean, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, sun gonna always be sun.
I feel like you're always going to have challenges in life, and you have to learn how to stay steady in the storm.
Right.
But I'm not trying to be in a relationship where it's always storming and I'm being knocked over left and right. I've been there. I've done that.
Because we need the peace. It's supposed to be peaceful.
Yeah. And you should be that person's peace. It's already war in the world. When I come home, please let there be peace. Please let there be peace.
Yes. But right now I need peace in my own home.
Yeah. Now I'm creating the peace for myself. So you got to bring me some peace.
Jojo, you good though?
Yeah.
Everything good over there in your life? Just in life, like, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I feel like I am in a very sacred place right now. And I'm being very delicate with myself, with my energy, who I'm around. Yeah. And like I said, I'm on this journey of just having tunnel vision. Because I know I really want to have a relationship with God. Yeah. And, back in the day, I would just pray like, oh, thank you, God, for this day. Good night. Now I'm being more intentional about my prayers. Right. I want to be friends with God.
Like, what advice would you give somebody that's trying to like learn how to pray correctly? Is there a correct way to do it, or you just kind of talk to God the way you talk to him?
I don't think there's a correct way to pray. And it's funny that you say that, because one of my friends, she always calls me for prayer. And I'm like, friend, there's no structure to it. God just wants to talk to you. God just wants to hear your heart.
You know what I used to struggle with is with the Muslim and the Christian thing, being like amen or ameen at the web prayer I'm doing by myself.
Yeah.
It's like
what should I say? What do you say now?
Either or.
And I feel like God knows your heart. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I don't think you have to say a certain prayer or it has to be structured. It's like, God, you know my heart.
Right.
I don't even have the words to say right now, but God, you know my heart and you know what I need. Please continue to guide me. Amen. I don't think it has to be pretty. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to do it. You just have to try. Or even just reading your Bible, it doesn't have to be like, oh, I read all of Job. I read Job 1:1 today.
So don't worry about the expectations.
Yeah, it's no structure.
Just do the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the spiritual.
Like we were talking about in the car, sometimes people strive for perfection that they miss the profitability.
Right.
Like
in this instance, it's not profitability money wise, but it's like spiritually.
Yeah. Don't worry about perfection. Worry about being purposeful and profitable to where you're getting God's word, you're building a relationship, and that's priceless. Like anytime you strive for perfection, you're setting yourself back.
Well, I gotta learn that.
Yeah, we all do.
Perfectionist at work.
Yeah, but like I was telling you, I forget what Shark Tank guy it was, but he's like, oh, if you strive for perfection, you're missing out on profitability. Because some people, for example, have content they don't want to put out, and they might have a great message, they might be a great artist, they might be a great poet, whatever it is, but they're so nervous to put it out because they don't think it's perfect.
Yeah.
Whole time you could have put it out and been getting profit and been purposeful,
You're right.
So nothing's perfect. Just pray. God just wants to have a relationship with you. And by no means am I a pastor, a prophet, a guru. I'm literally only trying to spread the light of God and give God the glory. And I'm learning along with all of you. The guests that I have, like you teach me something, I teach you something, but we're just all on a mission
we really appreciate you, yo. Like, you're such an inspiration. We're just trying to become. Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
And we're trying to inspire.
Becoming 24/7.
That's it. That's it.
Always getting there.
That's it. So in these days and time, how are you connecting with God? Outside of being Muslim, outside of the Christian faith, on your journey now, how are you connecting?
I'm just talking to him daily. I meditate sometimes. I've been on a roller coaster when it comes to that. Like, I've tried every wave of spirituality.
Listen, crystals, candles, beads,
all that.
I've had it all.
All in the crib.
Yeah, I've had it all.
So it all just brings me back to that one. Even when people talk about the universe, it's like, yo, if you just, anytime a scientist go back, anytime anybody goes back, you're gonna get to that same one entity, the same one energy.
Yeah.
Just accept it and keep it moving.
One God.
Yeah. And just so connecting with that, just praying every day, as often as I remember.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And I'm not going to charge it to my heart if I don't get to it all the time, but it's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're trying.
Yeah.
And I feel like God sees that we're trying. I don't know. There's just something in the air this season where everyone's just like, man, I got to get close to God.
A lot of people have gone through a lot of loss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even just since the COVID, you know what I'm saying? Like,
a lot of people.
It's been a lot of it's a lot of loss going around. So I think that we're really getting to where we need God and we need it.
We need
like there's no way around it.
And I feel like that's why I like to just hear people's stories, just so we can deeply connect. Because if you could hear my story and connect with me and feel like I'm like you, or someone's gonna hear your story and like, oh my God, I can relate to him.
Right.
That's all we need to do is connect with each other and bring each other back home.
That's why I do the music too, because it's the great connector.
Yeah.
It really is.
I feel like music is one of the greatest connectors. Like, you could hear a song and feel so lifted, so inspired. And it's like, music has so much power. Yep. That's why I think you have to be so careful what you listen to because of the power music holds.
I started changing what I listened to. I started changing what I talked about, all of that. Like, when I first started rapping, there was so much trauma. It was so much trauma when I first started rapping.
Do you feel like it was so much trauma because you were so caught up in that space of your trauma, like you really hadn't acknowledged it or healed?
Yeah. Yep. Early family trauma that led to me wanting to shoot, kill everything on my songs. You know what I mean? Be gangster this or pimp that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but the older I got, like, it's just
and like, more healed.
Oh yeah.
How did you overcome that trauma?
I can't tell you. I think that every time I create something musically, it's like a piece of it, just piece of the trauma being lifted.
Kind of chips away.
Yeah, I feel like, especially when you're creating music that's more in alignment with where you're trying to go.
Yeah.
So if I know that I'm trying to make more healing type of music, and I just go into it with that intent, like, it's coming out like that. Yeah, and it's a lot of times I could literally change my mood with my catalog. Like,
that's why music is so powerful.
Yeah.
That's why music, and I always talk about Andre 3000's album because I loved it, and I too have changed what I listened to because I was like, gosh, I listened to some First 48 type music,
and there's a time and space for that. But
the gym, maybe
the awareness,
you have to be aware.
But even at the gym, it's like you really have to we got to do an audit on like what are we really
listening.
You was talking about diet.
Yeah.
You're talking about mental diet, even what you put in your ears.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I say that all the time.
Yeah.
But I notice I've been so lifted lately because I've been changing what I listen to. I've been changing how I speak. Literally when I'm at home, I literally watch T.D. Jakes, Keon Henderson, Sarah J. I'm always watching some form of the word.
Send me something.
I will. I'm going to start sending you.
Everybody who's on that, I'm always telling them now, send me.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'm not going to go and look for it myself. Yeah. I'm not even in the mind frame of that.
Or even if it's just like a motivational speaker, I just try to stay in that presence because
I want my tribe back on that type of
time. Yeah. And that's the type of people you got to surround yourself with. Because it's so easy to fall off.
Very.
And slip back into
very
darkness.
Easy. Very easy.
So easy.
Very easy.
That's why I say it's constant daily works, but I've changed what I've been listening to.
Jody, you've changed a lot.
For the better.
Yes, very much.
So now you're making better music, you would say.
Yes.
More healing music.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I still produce a ratchet one every now and then, but just on a macro level.
Yeah.
I'm aware of what
that.
Yeah, I'm aware of what my vibrations bring. Yeah. Even with that, there's a science to it.
What your vibrations bring. That's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Even when I, speaking to, they say speak it into existence.
Yeah. Because there's life and death.
I've had songs that I made years prior that came true, like relationship wise, or
really?
So I have to start thinking about what I'm writing.
Intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What Badu said, when you write it, it's even like an idea when you write it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think she said when you write it down, watch that shit get real. Something along those lines.
I heard it on this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you write it down, it gets real. That's why I think it's so important to write things down. Even this year, I took the time to be intentional on my vision board.
Put it
right by my TV, and I'm like, okay, what did it say over there? Okay, we want to make that much. Just to remind myself.
Yeah.
Visualize it. Yeah.
Write the right things down.
Write the right things down. Yeah. That's it.
I'm just talking to y'all and myself.
Yeah, that's it. And sometimes we give people advice that we need to take.
We always do.
But this is the year we take our own advice. Our positive advice, anyway.
Yeah. And let's not take constructive criticism too personally this year.
No. And you know what? Now I'm starting to like the constructive criticism because that's going to help me become better.
Especially,
I could take constructive criticism.
Yeah. You got to respect who it's coming from.
That part. Get around some people you respect.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
And people that actually want to see you become the highest version of yourself. And people that could see the God in you, even though you can't see it in yourself.
But now, if they don't see it in themselves, you can't just stick around though.
If they'll
get around to it, but you ain't gonna gotta stay around for them to get up. Yep, you're right. All right, okay, I'm with you.
You see my point?
That's your point.
Yes.
Okay. More understanding.
I'm so glad to. You have your energy's different these days. Your energy's different. So whatever you're doing,
keep doing it.
Keep on keeping on.
All right, I will. If that's the case, let me start doing what I'm really supposed to be doing. Then I might be going crazy. I might be levitating.
No, we want to start seeing more music. We want you to tap in.
Once you start seeing more music on a consistent basis, you know that I'm just ultimately in my bag and feeling confident.
Yeah. And that's what we want to see. I feel like that's what God wants for you to do, because you wouldn't have that talent if it wasn't. I wouldn't
even be here.
Yeah. And here you are.
And here I am.
Yes. Well, I'm going to ask you 5 things. So I'm going to start the sentence and you are going to finish it.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I'm not ready for this.
No, it's whatever comes to mind and comes to your heart.
All right.
So I am
a black man.
I can
do anything.
I will
pray.
I love
light.
God is
Him.
Him?
Him.
The man.
The man.
The Alpha and the Omega.
Mm-hmm. And everything in between.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Keeps me on my square.
Listen, to God
I can't be more grateful. I can't be more grateful.
I'm telling you.
And sometimes it's very hard for me to articulate, but the feeling is just there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, too, to even have the desire to want to know God, I've been thanking God for that, because some people don't even have the desire.
The older I get, the more it is.
Oh, I'm telling you, yeah. I'm thankful for even, because God could harden your heart. You saw how God hardened Pharaoh's heart because he wanted to show the Israelites that he was God. That's how he was able to free them. But I'm so thankful God hasn't hardened my heart, so I can want to desire and connect.
I'm happy for that for you.
Man, that alone is a blessing. That alone is a blessing. So we're looking forward to hearing more music from you.
Coming soon. You can push the pedal soon. Okay. Just more music in general.
Push the pedal. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about it, because when I've talked in the past, I don't like to do too much talking and then don't execute. That's been something.
Execute.
It's been a thing for me.
I feel like this is going to be your year.
This is.
I'm claiming it for you.
You're claiming it for me? All right.
And you're going to claim it for yourself. We're speaking life. Yeah. They say when 2 or more are gathered together. So what are we praying for you? We're gathering together. Let's hold hands.
Oh, all right, let's do it.
What are we gathering When two or more, well, three actually. You guys
Three
can
more.
see Doja.
Three more.
But
Doja.
Doja's here in the back. Woo, woo, big up to Doja.
Hey.
We are gathered here together. So what are we, hoping for you?
I'm just hoping to inspire more people this year.
Yes.
Through great vibrations.
Absolutely. And it is done.
It is done.
It is done. Amen.
Amen.
Well, I thank you for being a guest on the Heart Helper podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Thank y'all so much.
Yes. Before you leave, though, give the people, just some advice.
Some advice?
Yeah, just one thing. Doesn't have to be about love, relationship, whatever comes to your heart. What's something that you could just advise on?
If you love doing it for free, do it.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I can go into more detail.
Because people are probably seeking things and wondering what they're supposed to do.
If you're good at it already, pour into that. Absolutely. I've been good at doing music since I was 11, 12. Even with no training, I just wanted to do it. I just liked it. And I ended up being
God-given talent.
Yeah. And at 37, I wish I would have just dug more into it. Stop listening to anybody who doubted me or anything like that. Just keep just do it. Trust it.
If you love it.
Yeah, if you paint. Interior design, whatever you do it. Yeah.
And there we have it. I think my thing's just going to be this podcast. I love talking to people.
You're good.
It's my thing. It's my thing.
We always thought you was going to be doing this.
Really?
Yeah. Because that's how I met you, though.
This is true, because I was
TJ's DJs, you interviewed me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And that was, what was I, 19?
Whoa, this is whoa!
Dang, I did, yes! My goodness.
Full circle.
Yeah, that's how we
circle.
met. I interviewed you. I did not even think about that.
Mind blown. Yeah.
That's how we met. Yeah. I was interviewing.
At the moon.
Wow. And what you just said, if you didn't get paid for it, my God.
I think that's a good way to wrap it up.
My God. And that's it, y'all. This was episode 18 with Archie Morgan II, my brother, my friend, my bandmate. I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. This was so comfortable, cozy, lovely.
I was scared. I was scared.
He was scared. Y'all, he called me. He's like, hey, I'm a little nervous. I'm like, just flow. It's me and you. We've been around each other at our highs and at our lows. I told you.
I don't do interviews.
Well, and here you are.
JoJo got 2 exclusives.
But where God's taking you, though, you're going to have to do interviews.
You're right.
So here we are, full circle.
Thank you so
many
much.
Blessings, guys. Of course, stay connected to the light with our self-care subscription boxes at thehearthelper.com. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. And many blessings, y'all. We're all on this journey together. None of us are perfect, but may you always be purposeful in whatever it is that you're doing. I love you. Archie loves you. And may we all just spread more love and more light. Until next time. See y'all later.